Hello and welcome to the Amy
And Kyle.
Adventures podcast, also known as the AKA podcast. We don't have an official intro or any tune. Maybe one day Kyle will make one,
I'm not sure about that.
but one day we might do. Anyway, sorry that we didn't do a podcast, I think, for 2 weeks now. We've basically been just really, really busy. I think realistically we'll probably do this podcast every 2 weeks just because we've got busy lives and even just sitting down for a 40-minute chat is hard at the minute. So, we're doing this for you guys. Hope you appreciate it. I'm only joking, to be fair.
Well, it was quite ambitious for us to think that we could do them every week.
Yeah.
We just got such busy lives, haven't we, at the minute?
Busy life. Kyle's, it's, what time is it? It's 6:10 in the PM. Kyle's only just walked in from work, haven't you?
Been out there grafting, haven't I?
Laying bricks all day. How's the hairdressers coming along your building?
I've actually not started the hairdressers yet. That's an extension.
Oh.
But the shop is going on very well.
Oh, well, I'm very glad to hear that. Hopefully you're bringing some dollar home as well, because I need some new running trainers. Anyway, Kyle's voice is a little bit husky because this weekend we've just come back from the party island, Ibiza, or as I like to call it, Ibiza.
I like to call it Ibiza.
Because you did drink quite a lot.
Yeah, I got a little bit silly a couple of nights, didn't I?
Yeah, the YouTubes will demonstrate that.
But you have got to let loose a bit sometimes.
You have.
And I did.
You did. But anyway, we went with a company called LeBlanc, and I will be totally honest, they invited us. We went last year as well, and we're not going to say no to a free trip, so we were straight there. But honestly, it was the best experience ever. I didn't think they could top last year. Basically, you go to Ibiza with your bike, you ride in the day, you have lovely food, and then in the evening you party. But the first evening was, the first evening was like just a chill, because we just got there on the plane, took the bikes and the bike boxes. Second evening, I was literally, to be honest, I still can't believe it happened. We were sat eating dinner next to Kasia Niodoma, aka the winner of the Tour de Femme.
And don't forget Taylor Finney.
And Taylor Finney, her husband, who's also an ex-pro and a DJ. Literally, I was just sat eating my dinner and I kept having to think to myself, is this real? She did like a speech. I actually did a talk as well while we were there. I did a talk about my book. But honestly, it was just crazy. Like, it just didn't feel real, did it, Kyle?
No, it's just a crazy experience that we're so fortunate to go on. But
yeah,
it was just insane. But we've been looking forward to it all year, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it's been such a hectic year that we knew that was coming. And I've been looking forward to it, and I did let loose.
Yeah.
Enjoy myself and relax.
You did let loose on the dance floor, let me tell you that, because after the meal, we had Rudimental DJ set. It was absolutely great. But like Kyle said, this year we've had so many different challenges, amazing adventures, like it's been so good. But I just remember at the start of the year saying to myself, when we get to Ibiza in October, all the hard challenges are done and we can really relax and enjoy it. And we did. I mean, I don't drink, so I did not have a sore head.
You're silly enough.
I'm silly enough without a drink, yeah. I was busting some moves on that dance floor, which is also on the YouTube.
Debatable.
What? I wasn't busting some moves?
Well, I wouldn't call them moves, really.
Why, what was it
Top of the hill dance on the dance floor.
Yeah, top of the hill dance, got to get a little click in there. But it was just great. And then the next day we had, same again, ride in the day. We did this challenge where you had to go up. It was a 4-kilometre climb, and you had to go up it as fast as you could because they were doing a competition for a Queen and King of the Mountain. Now, Ibiza is really hilly, actually. It's not long hills like you get in Mallorca or like the Alps or anything like that. It's just short, punchy climbs. Like, there was one climb we went up, and it was literally, it must have been about 20% gradient, mustn't it, Kyle?
Yeah, there was a lot of steep ones like that, weren't there?
My heart felt like it was coming out of my chest, but I do love a hilly ride. But anyway, there was one climb that was 4 kilometres long that wasn't as punchy as the rest. I think the average gradient was around 5%.
And we have done it before.
I did it last year, and we had to go up it as fast as we could. So I was like, right, I'm going to go for it. Kyle was a bit hungover, weren't you?
You've more than a bit, but yeah, we got up.
I think you're still hungover now. Your voice is like you. Do you need a drink of water?
Possibly. I've just got in from work, can't I say?
Yeah, he's had a quick shower and he's rushed. We're actually lying in bed recording this, not going to lie. So I was like, right, I'm going to go for it. Last year I did it in, I think, 14:50 something. I was like, right, I want to try and beat that time. But in my head, I felt like I'd be slower. And I will be totally honest, a lot of people that know me know I've had an eating disorder. And since last year, I've put on 5 kilograms. And that's something that over the recent weeks I've really struggled with. Even though, as Kyle keeps telling me, it's muscle, I've got stronger, I've gained power. My clothes all still fit me, so I always rationalise
You don't
with
look
that.
any different.
Yeah, Kyle always tells me that, but obviously sometimes in my head I feel like that eating disorder voice can creep a bit back in and say, oh, you've put weight on. And I never should have weighed myself, but I did. Anyway, so I went into this climb thinking you're probably going to be slower than last year because you're heavier, and had this negative mindset. But then I went for it and I did it in 13:53. Was it 53 or 55? I can't remember.
No, 53.
Anyway, I knocked off like over a minute off my time, which for my mental state was really good because it kind of proves that it's not about weighing less and being stronger. Actually, I'm stronger weighing more. So it really did help me. And yeah, I feel really happy that I know it's not a big achievement. I've just knocked a minute off a random climb that doesn't really matter. But I just felt really proud of myself. Also, I did beat Kyle by 4 seconds.
Yeah, I did have a hangover. But what I will say is on that, it's like you were really like down about yourself and stuff as well beforehand, saying, "Oh, I'm not as good anymore. I'm not as fast." And I know Amy doesn't ride just for that, but it clearly proved that you're stronger, even better, and all the hard work's paying off. And it's quite disheartening for me to see when you're beating yourself up, but you smashed it.
Yeah.
And I was dead happy for you. I was hungover. I had a puncture not long before the climb.
Yeah.
And then I had to stop again before the climb to put some more air in. And then one of the ride leaders decided to try and pace me up. But when he paced me up, he just rode off. But I just kept my own pace, and I did overtake him actually in the last 0.3 miles.
Yeah, but he beat you by a second, didn't he, overall? Because he
Yeah,
started
I must
before
have
you.
started. Yeah, so it's a bit weird though, the Garmin sometimes, the way it starts the segment. So, but no, I was happy with that with a hangover. So
Yeah,
I'll
you
take
beat
that.
your time from last year as well.
Yeah,
By
I
over
think
a minute.
it's just I knew on a better day with fresh legs and no hangover, it would have been a different story as well. But
Yeah. So we
I'm
have
not
both
really bothered.
improved. We have both improved since last year, which sometimes you don't realise how much you've improved. And like I said, like I don't necessarily cycle to get faster and get stronger, but there is, and I do mainly cycle just for enjoyment. And I just find the mental headspace of being outside really, really helpful. But there is also that element of I do like to push myself. I do like to achieve things. I do naturally have the mindset of I want to do well. So like next year we do have some big challenges coming up. One, I can say I will be doing All Points North again, and I will be taking it a bit more serious this time. Last year I did it for the novelty, and I was really happy to come third female. Obviously next year I'm going to go into it and maybe try and just push a little bit harder. So yeah, I will always keep the enjoyment in cycling, but I will admit I do like a challenge. So yeah, I was really happy with that. But the whole Ibiza thing, it was just blooming amazing, to be honest. I would definitely recommend Ibiza for cycling. It's not as good as Mallorca. Like I'd choose Mallorca 100 times over
And the road surfaces aren't quite as good.
yeah, because Mallorca's so much bigger. There's more climbs. There's more to see. The roads in Ibiza are quite narrow. There's quite a lot of sand on the roads and things, so you do have to be careful. But it's so quiet. Like there's hardly any cars. There are some really nice little cafes we found, and it's a good challenge. Like there's so many climbs you can do and so much to see. So I definitely recommend going to Ibiza. But I think any more than 4 days, you'd be done by then. Like we'd ridden around pretty much the whole island, hadn't we?
Yeah, and last year as well, the routes that we did last year, we have pretty much taken in most of the island now. But
Yeah.
the island is beautiful.
Yeah.
And like you say, it is very quiet, and there's a lot of hidden spots, like nice beaches that you ride down to, nice cafes on the beach, and the views are really nice. So yeah, it's a really nice place to be. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just different from Mallorca.
Peter Sagan was there as well, so we got to hear him talk too, and hopefully we will be there again next year. So if you've got the dollar, we'll see you there, because it isn't cheap. I will tell you that. There was a lot of rich people there. I kept thinking to myself, oh, I wonder what job they do. I wonder what job they do, because we're there and we're so grateful. Like we started this YouTube channel. I never in a million years thought it'd be partying in Ibiza with blooming Rudimental and Kazi and Iodoma. But here we are, so we're just taking it in because it's not going to last forever. So yeah, we do feel very, very grateful that we get these experiences. And we're kind of on a bit of a come down from it now because we've got no more abroad trips for the end of the year till next year. To be honest though, we are ready for a bit of chill time, aren't we?
We've been away a lot, haven't we?
Yeah.
And it's been hectic.
Yeah.
But that's not a complaint. It's been incredible. But I always, like you said earlier, I look forward to IB for a year because I knew that I'd spell like the end of the hard stuff and just to let loose and enjoy myself. So it was good.
And let loose you did. You had so much whiskey. They were doing whiskey. What are you doing? Wafting me.
You do giving hand signals to me.
I was doing a hand signal because I felt like, sorry, someone said Kyle muffles too much on the podcast and you can't hear him. So I just did a hand signal to him to try and tell him to speak more clearly and speak louder.
It's not the speaking clearly. Like, I've listened back to the podcast and I think I'm quite clear.
Oh, yeah?
But it has made me more conscious, and now I'm watching the volume bar. So I know when I'm speaking high enough, and I nearly had it maxed out then, and Amy was still telling me to speak louder.
Maybe just speak a bit more, not like a builder.
I can't help that. All right, I'll start speaking like this, shall we?
Yeah, start speaking with a bit of decorum, please.
And I'll put a plum in my mouth.
A plum?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
It's how the royals were taught to speak.
Oh.
Have a plum in your mouth,
I've never heard of that. What, they put a plum in their mouth and speak?
I don't think they actually put a plum in their mouth, no.
Are you still speaking like it now?
No, I'm trying to speak clearly now.
Oh no, we're going to be thinking about it the whole podcast now. Oh, one thing of talking of fruit, while we were in Ibiza, I had a bit of a hyper moment. We went to this cafe and there was a lime tree, and I picked a lime off the tree and I brought it home, and it's now in the fridge, and I'm going to use it to make a curry. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, and Matt Stevens said you'd have to go to the citrus fruits department when you get back across.
No, declaration.
Declaration when you get across the border to get it in, but no problems here with it.
It came straight through, so we were happy about that. But yeah, and then the weekend before Ibiza, I was in Wales with my dad to try and have a bit of chill time, but blooming heck, there's no such thing as chill time with my dad. If you think I speak fast and don't stop speaking, you should meet him. We went to Harlech to do what was once the steepest climb in the world. It's now the second steepest climb in the world on a paved road, I must point out. There's obviously a lot steeper, like mountain bike stuff and whatever. But there's now a road in New Zealand that's steeper than it. Anyway, it's 37.9%. And I went to it thinking, I'm going to go up it, I'm going to try it. Honestly, we got to the top to freewheel down. It was that steep, I couldn't even freewheel down it because I felt like I was going to fall off my bike. Dad, on his we've got this old bike at the caravan that we have in Wales. It's literally such an old bike, like a bone shaker bike. It's got massive cassette on the back though, so really easy gears. He went up it, no problem. Well, not no problem. He had to stop after the steep bit and get his breath back. But he managed to go up it. I, on the other hand, honestly, I just had a mental block. So I think if I really put my mind to it, I could have done it. But I just started to go up and then I was like, no. And my head was just like, you're going to fall off sideways and break your hip. And then I just had this vision of like coming to a standstill and falling off. And it wasn't worth it because I was like, if I don't unclip in time, I'm going to Ibiza next week. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to break Pinny, aka my bike. Yeah, I was like, I'm not risking it for a climb. So I have said that me and Kyle will have to go back to Harlech next year with my gravel bike that's got more gears on it to have another go.
I don't know why she's roped me into this.
You want to have a go, don't you? You love a climb.
Yeah, I don't mind a good climb now and then, but that sounds absolutely brutal, so I'm not sure about that.
You might be able to beat me because you're better at steep climbs than me, so that could be a motivation for you.
It's a weird one, actually, because I've been quite good at the long gradual climbs this year. Yeah, I used to be a lot better at the steep climbs, but no, I don't know, whether it's because I'm a bit lighter than I was and maybe a little less power, I'm not sure.
Yeah, because I've put weight on. On the other hand, Kyle's lost weight, haven't you? A lot of weight.
Well, I had weight to lose.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying that in a horrible way, by the way.
No, it was more the fact of I wanted to be in better shape.
Yeah.
And I wasn't as fit as I could be. I'm not saying I was rubbish or like I was bad in any way, but I wanted to just be a little bit fitter, a bit healthier.
As someone at LeBlanc said on the trip in Ibiza, one of our friends said, I've noticed Kyle's looking really, really good, When he first started cycling, he just looked like a builder on a bike, but now he looks,
Oh yeah, I forgot.
He looks more healthy. I was like, okay, I don't know if that's a compliment or not, but basically they were saying that you look well.
Yeah, probably not so broad, I'd say.
But I think it's really difficult in cycling because having had an eating disorder especially, I can get quite, not anymore, but when I was ill, all conversations about weight and what you look like and food and body image, I'd really, really like twig onto. And for example, someone could say the slightest thing to me like, you're looking really well. And my head would be like, you've put loads of weight on, you're fat. That would be the eating disorder. And I think you have to be so careful when you comment on what people look like because you just don't know what's going on inside. Carly, you trying to hold a cough in?
A burp.
Sorry. You can burp if you want, it's okay.
No, I'm trying to be polite.
Have decorum.
Yes.
And I just think you don't realise the littlest of comments like, if someone comments on what you're eating, like, oh, that's a big plate of food. Like, now I can just be like, yeah, because I cycle a lot, so I need a big plate of food. Like, it doesn't bother me. But when I was ill, if someone said to me, oh, that's a big plate of food, I wouldn't be able to eat it. Like, and I think people don't understand how much an eating disorder takes over your whole life. Like, you're constantly thinking about what you're eating and what you look like, and you're looking at what everyone else is eating and comparing it to what you're eating. And I'm so glad I'm not in that headspace anymore, because it is just so mentally draining, just constantly thinking about calories and weight and shape. And thank God I've got through that, because I'm never going back there again. But I think when you've had an eating disorder, there's a part of it that never leaves you. And like I said at the beginning of the podcast, like, the fact I've put 5 kilograms on since last year had been playing on my mind a lot. And I was starting to, like, go back down that road a little bit of, oh, I'm not going to have a cake at the cafe. I'm only going to have half of one, or I'm not going to have one, I'm just going to have a drink, or, oh, I'm not going to have that snack. But I've quickly, that's a click. I can't click. Can you click, Kyle? There you go. I've never been able to click. When I was in primary school, it really used to annoy me. You know, at assembly when you have to click to the, what do these sing?
Yours is just more of a rubbing of
It's
the
not
fingers.
a click. I can't click. I've never been able to click. This is my click. How do you click?
You've just got to have really strong finger and thumb.
Well, I clearly don't.
No, you don't. You just put a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Really hard against each other, and then off to the side.
That's it. That's my click. Anyway, I clicked myself out of it, and I thought, I'm not going back down the eating disorder road, because life is too short not to enjoy food, and I'm not going to be able to cycle long distance if I don't eat enough. And we do get a lot of comments about how much we eat, but you need to eat a lot, and it's important. And also, we're all different in what we need, so we shouldn't really comment. Just enjoy your life mainly, and as long as you've got a good variety and you're healthy, that's all that matters. And you don't need to be a certain shape or size to be a cyclist.
No.
That's what I think. I come home sometimes and Kyle doesn't know that I'm home. Like, he'll get home from work and I take Chester out for a walk when I finish work, and Kyle normally gets back when I'm out, and I sneak into the house and I can guarantee he's singing in the shower.
It's not always Ed Sheeran, by the way.
It's always slow, sad songs.
No, right, yeah.
It is. It's like it's what's that one you always sing?
How to Save a Life.
Yeah.
By The Fray.
He's always singing How to Save a Life. I'm like,
that's a really good song.
And you really go for it as well.
Well, there's no point holding back. There's no one listening to me.
So I sneak up the stairs and I record him on my phone.
And then make me jump.
And then I play it back to him. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on to the moan minute, because I have got a moan. Can I go first this week, Kyle?
Flipping it, you're keen today.
I've got a moan minute. So basically, every week, if you've not listened to the podcast, we have a moan minute.
Can we just have you moan 30 seconds? Because I feel like you're going to go in on this one.
No, I need a full minute. Okay. So I'm just getting my stopwatch up on my phone. So we have 1 minute to moan about anything we want to moan about. And the reason we do this is because us Brits love to moan. And also, I am a qualified mental health nurse, although I don't practice anymore. I was a nurse. It's actually really good to get your moans out, because it releases it out. Like, sometimes if you've got loads of stuff bottled up inside, it's not good, and you feel so much better just for getting it out. So it's actually good for your mental health as well. Fact. Anyway, I'm ready for my moan minute. Are you ready, Kyle? 3, 2, 1.
I'm not sure.
Action. Right, my moan minute this week is people that cough without the hand over their mouth. It is disgusting. We went to, obviously, Ibiza. In the airport, there's people walking around coughing, basically coughing in your face. I'm sorry, you've got a hand, put it in front of your mouth. It's disgusting. I don't want to walk around with your germs. Last time I went away, I came back with a cold because of people coughing around in your face. Some people actually, project their mouth before you project their mouth at you while you're walking past them. It's ridiculous. My other one is drunk people on the plane. We came home, there was this drunk man on the plane. He'd lost his phone, he's lost his shoes, he's lost his sock, telling the whole plane about it. I don't care, mate. I'm trying to edit a YouTube video here, so can you shut your mouth, please, and don't cough. If you need a cough, put your hand over it. Thank you very much. Did that in 50 seconds, so you happy with that, Kyle?
Yeah, you did. But you did actually nick one of my moans.
Well, you can do the same moan. It's okay. But did you agree with that moan?
Yeah, I agree with your moans, yeah.
Right, well, I'm going to do your moan now. So
but the trouble is, I'm not actually that much of a moany person.
No, you're not. But do you want to do the moan?
So it's hard for me to think of one, but I've got one.
Everyone, come on, Kyle. Everyone's got something to moan about deep inside. I've got another one, actually, that I forgot. Can I just
you got another 10 seconds.
Can I add? I've got 10 seconds. Right, I've got 12 seconds on the timer. Right, 3, 2, 1. men that can't handle women being faster than them on a bike ride. I'm not going to name any names, but there's this man that was slower than me, and every time I went past him, he sped up on purpose and went past me again, and then I had to go past him again because he slowed me down. Do you agree with that, Kyle?
Oh, timer's going
Time
off.
has gone.
I do agree with that.
That does annoy me.
Oh, that's actually got. Oh, don't. That's going to actually
Because,
start
I'm
getting.
sorry, but like, if you're slower than me, let me go past you. It's not a big issue. It's not a big thing. Don't speed up on purpose and go back in front of me and then go slow again. What's the issue? I mean, if I was faster than another girl, it'll be fine. If a man was faster than me, it's fine. But for some reason, and it's not just this one man, it happens all the time when I'm on a ride.
Paris Brest Paris stands out to me, and this is that really does annoy me because you were in a lot of pain at Paris Brest Paris.
Yeah.
And I kept.
Paris Brest Paris, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, is a 1,200 kilometre ride that happens every 4 years. 2027 is the next one if you want to join us. And you cycle from Paris to Brest and back.
Quite self-explanatory.
Yeah.
So anyway, going back to what I was saying, is you was in quite a lot of pain, and I kept saying to you, sit on my wheel to just make it a little bit easier. I'm not going to go on a fast pace.
No. I had really bad saddle
sore.
Keep
it steady and
saddle
just stay on my wheel.
In a bad way.
Anyway, I'd be riding down the road, and these men with too much testosterone were just pushing Amy out the way.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I'd look round, and then Amy would just be getting pushed out the way by some other man trying to sit on my wheel.
Yeah, they basically come up the inside of me and push me out the way to get me off Kyle's wheel so they could have it. I was like, excuse me, mate.
It actually happens so much on that.
And then every time we went past a group of men, like, you'd go past first, wouldn't you? And it'd be fine, they'd let you go. And then they'd see me come past and realise I was a woman, and they'd all speed up. It's a joke.
Then before you know, you got like a peloton sitting on your wheel.
Yeah, I was like, can you all just like go away? To be honest, Kyle has quite bad flatulence when he's eating a lot, and we needed it then. It like propels your bum.
No one moaned that tried to sit on my wheel. Though,
no one tried to sit on your wheel then, so I had to be left with it though. Right, do you want to do your main minute?
Yeah, go on, let's have it.
Right, 3, 2, 1, action.
Right, this might sound really bad, but I hate, what was the term for them? Really like just inconsiderate people, i.e. people coming back from a holiday in Ibiza that decide to just sit. You know, like when you waiting to get on the plane and they're just stood there with their hands down the pants and they're like shouting loud and like laughing and talking about things you don't really want to hear about. You think, just look around at your surroundings. Know where you are. Like, there's other people that have got to listen to and look at you with your hands down your pants, itching your bum, and talking about things I don't really care about.
It wasn't their bum, it was the other side.
Just, if you want to talk about it, go for it. Just speak a bit quieter, and just be considerate about people around you. That really did actually wind me up, because I was just thinking, will you just be quiet? Stop being so rude. It's not like me to say something like that, but it did annoy me, that did. Yeah, that's my minute.
Well done, Kyle. There's your timer. Oh, the timer's not gone off, but... Oh, there we go.
Bit delayed, that was, wasn't it?
Delayed, that was. I agree with that, Kyle. I know who you're talking about at the airport, this disgusting man with his hands down his pants. It was rank. And then I just think, oh, you got your hands down there, and then you're going on the plane, you're like touching stuff.
Yeah, exactly. That annoys me. And I was just looking at him thinking, they all thought they were really cool, like, and I was just thinking, you just look
a bit like you on the dance floor.
Oh no, I knew I didn't look cool. I was just having a great time, and the trouble with me is I don't really care what people think.
No.
So if I want to have a good time, I'm going to have a good time, and if you don't like looking at it, back away.
Yeah. Anyway, on another note, moving on from cycling, I've actually been getting more into my running. My foot injury that I had on the last podcast has kind of subsided, and I've since done my longest run of the year so far. I did 17 kilometres the day before yesterday, actually, the day after we got back from Ibiza, because I've entered a half marathon for December. It's at Carsington Water, actually, so I think it's going to be off-road, like traily, and I'm also doing my first ever trail run at the Kendal Mountain Festival at the end of November. Now, I didn't realise this, but basically I'm talking at the festival on the Sunday, 1:30 on the Sunday. If you want to buy tickets, go on the Kendal Mountain Festival website. A little bit of an ad there for you. But they said, oh, you can do any events you want while you're here. So I was like, oh, there's a trail run. That looks good. I've never done a trail run before. I bet that'll be nice. I'll go and do that. So I didn't really look at it properly. I was like, oh, can I do this? They were like, yeah, you can do that. Sent me through all the information after they've already signed me up. It's probably been 10 kilometres, which is fine, but 250 metres of climbing. That's a lot, isn't it, Kyle?
I think so. I don't run.
So,
for good reason.
First of all, I don't have any trail shoes yet. I need to order some ASAP.
It's going well.
It's only 5 weeks away. and I've never done that much hills on a run, so I'm literally going to have to...
You'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah, I might have to walk up some hills, but oh well, it's all an experience.
Turn it into a hike.
I've tried to get Kyle to run, but he won't.
No, it's not that I won't run. In fact, your sister's boyfriend gave me a pair of the new running shoes that he's not worn.
Yeah, my sister's boyfriend is, he was in the Olympics, you see.
Yes. So he kindly gave me a pair of trainers because we're the same size, weirdly, because he's 6 foot something and I'm 5'10". 5'10" and a half.
Yeah, but your big toes, like your 6 foot, 'cause it's massive.
Oh, dear.
Kyle's big toe is basically all of his toes put together.
You don't need to bring my toe
I'm
back into
surprised,
it.
like, you know, when you went into if you went into the swimming pool in Ibiza, I'm surprised there wasn't, like...
We did say that, actually.
No water left in the pool when you put your big toe in there.
I'll dip my toes just to test the water and the old water will come out. No, so yeah, I have got some running trainers and I have done running before and I used to play football. Still part of the team, actually.
But every time you run, you moan about it.
Yeah,
You're not a very positive runner. I can't be around non-positive runners.
I'm better on my own, like, because Amy just gets annoyed at me because I'm like, this isn't fun. I don't enjoy running. So if I go for a run on my own, I'm much better.
But realistically, does anyone enjoy... Like, I enjoy running after I've finished the run. You know what I mean? I'm not running...
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Some of it I do enjoy if I'm going slower, but when I'm going fast and trying to push, I'm not enjoying that. I'm trying to breathe, to be honest with you. But there is something nice about the simplicity of just putting your trainers on and going out the door. What I will say is I always delay a run. I'll be like, oh, I'm going on a run tonight, or in 5 minutes I'm going. And it's like an hour before I go because it does take me a long time to motivate myself. But once I'm out, it's worth it. So if you're thinking of starting running, just go for it. But when I started, I did run walk, and that really helped because I've got a friend that's a physio, and she said, although you're fit enough to go and run 10k because you do so much cycling, your muscles you use for cycling are completely different for the muscles you use for running. So you need to do 1 minute walk, 1 minute run, and then build up to 2 minutes run, 1 minute walk, and then you won't get injured, because last year I got injured bad. So I've done that and it's really helped. But anyway, enough of the running chat, time to move on to marriage. Our marriage, you know, we've not had too many arguments recently, have we?
Actually got on quite well. No tiffs in our beef, did we?
I did send you a bit of an annoyed text this morning.
Yeah, but I do get them quite regularly and I know how to deal with that.
No, not quite regularly. If you didn't do stuff to annoy me, I wouldn't send you them. This morning...
Well, that's quite regular.
Yeah, because you do stuff to annoy me.
No, it's usually just the same
thing. For
thing.
example, this morning, so last night I cooked dinner. I love cooking, so that's not a complaint. Kyle does the pots, I cook the dinner. That's how it works around here. I get the better job, I feel. But no one wants to have Kyle's cooking because he burns everything.
That's not true. You love my homemade meatballs.
Homemade meatballs is the only thing you can cook me.
No, it's not.
And I don't really like
I used
meatballs.
to always do You're really fussy eater, though, so it's difficult for me.
I'm not fussy. I eat anything now.
No, you are quite difficult to cook for.
Because I like healthy food, and sometimes...
Yeah, and it's a bit annoying because I'm like, I'd really love to cook like a steak or something. And Amy's just like, oh, no, I don't really want that.
Because I don't eat red meat. You know that.
I know, yeah, but... Yeah, I'm on about
But you cook me meatballs, turkey meatballs, not red meat, and they're nice, but, you know, after you cook it me every time. It's the only thing you cook.
Chili con carne, spag bol.
That's the same thing. Chili con carne and spag bol is pretty much the same thing.
Well, you're cooking it wrong if you think they're the same thing.
Well, chili's just a spicy version of spag bol, isn't it, I think. That's what I think, with some kidney beans thrown in.
It's basically glorified meat in chopped tomatoes with a bit of chili.
It's basically you just throwing everything in a pan and cooking some pasta, which you always overboil.
Right. This is why I don't
all over the hob.
This is why I don't cook anyway, because I get criticised.
Back to my text this morning. Last night we had a meal that I cooked. What did we have? Oh, I did really nice, like fish, but in the pan.
Bit cocky.
Like fried fish, with like a ratatouille thingy on the side, and Kyle had potato, and I had sweet potato. Anyway, Kyle had some grated cheese on his. I said, that's great, you go for your grated cheese. He spilt it all over round the table where he was sat. Like, I don't know what he does with the grater.
Can I just point out...
He basically grates most of it onto the table.
Where she says all around, I can guarantee it. In fact, I might even take a picture.
I've cleaned it up, so you won't take a picture.
Yeah, you've cleaned it up because you know it wasn't all around.
It was all over the table. It was all over... We've got this tablecloth runner down the middle of the table. It was all over that, which was hard to clean up.
It was only very fine grated cheese, so it can't be too much.
Yeah, it was finely grated, so it made it even worse to pick up. Anyway, I said to him last night, Kyle, you've got cheese all over there, make sure you wipe it up. He was like, yeah, I will. Come down this morning to eat my breakfast after doing 2 hours on the turbo, so I was very hot. Cheese everywhere. I was like, for goodness sakes, I text Kyle, please can you make sure you wipe up after yourself after you spill cheese everywhere?
And what did I do?
You didn't reply.
So I know how to deal with those texts now, because...
You just don't reply to me.
Yeah, because Yeah, I know that if I don't reply, nothing more will get said about it.
But I think that's a genuine,
Because
can you
all I'll
please
do
just
is
clean up after
apologise.
yourself? I am not your
In my
waitress.
defence, though,
Yeah.
yesterday, what time did I get to you at the cafe? Like 6:10.
Yeah, you've been working late, to be fair, but
I've been doing long days.
you have been working late, but that's not an excuse to
And
spill
then when
cheese.
after dinner I had stuff to do. So
Like
then
the pots.
no, the pots, but I had stuff to do, and it was just one of those things.
So in terms of arguments, we've not really had any apart from the cheese gate, and we did have an
Cheese great.
Cheese grate, yeah, the good one. We did have an argument in Ibiza. I can't remember what it was though.
No,
It was
they're
when
not
we were
arguments.
trying to find somewhere to eat, and then we couldn't find anywhere to eat when we got there, and we had a bit of a tiff because Kyle was really hot and I couldn't find anywhere to eat, and we had a bit of an argument.
It
But
wasn't so much
other
an
than that,
argument, was it? It was just like a little disagreement.
tiff.
Yeah.
But Kyle's got this thing where he's like, we've not had an argument. And I'm like, we have had an argument. And he's like, no, it's not an argument, it's just a tiff. And I was like, well, that's the same thing.
No, but in my head, like when I say I've had an argument with my wife, if I said that to someone, I feel like they'd think, "Oh, flipping it, that's not good." But if it's just a little tiff, everyone has little tiffs.
Yeah, but I don't mind saying I've had an argument. But say we have like a little tiff about something, I'll say, oh, we've had a little argument. Kyle will be like, no, we've not had an argument, we've had a tiff. And then we have an argument about whether we've had an argument or a tiff.
No,
because you've got this thing about the word argument, you don't like it.
Yeah, I think it's from my childhood, really. But I'm not going to get a conversation for another day.
Podcast. Yeah, we need a whole podcast for your childhood. Right then. Anyway, I've got a text from Mum, Kyle.
I have as well.
Oh, my mum says, blooming heck, it's October. We're going out for Christmas meal. And Mum's just texted me saying, what's your choices? Do you want to read them out, Kyle? I know what you're going to have. Right, starter, you've got a choice of white onion, parmesan and truffle soup with parmesan crouton and truffle oil. This is posh.
You don't need to go through the whole menu now.
Yeah, I do. Come on, you've got to choose your choice.
I've got a picture on my phone.
Well, I'll read it out to you. Smoked salmon, dill blinis, what the hell is that? Creme fraiche, caviar, endive salad. Where the hell are we going? Crispy ham hock fritter, piccalilli, curried pickled quail's egg, or baked goat's cheese with hot honey, beetroot, grape and walnut salad. What are you going for out of them, Kyle?
I think I'll go for the smoked salmon for start.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you'd choose the ham hock. Right, next, mains you've got traditional roast turkey, pig in blankets, chestnut stuffing, roast potatoes, roast roots, buttered greens, braised red cabbage, bread sauce and gravy, or 12-hour braised shin of beef. Not sure what would happen if it was for 8 hours. Bourguignon sauce, horseradish mash, green beans, pan-fried sea bass, crushed new potatoes, bacon and pie à la française. Or, we won't have this, mushroom, chestnut, leek and sage sausage roll, roast potato, roast roots, buttered greens, braised red cabbage, bread sauce and gravy. What are you going for? Let me guess. Traditional roast.
Yeah.
I knew you would.
I mean, the beef's tempting. Beef's tempting.
I can't believe you're having roast salmon for starter. I really
roast salmon, smoked salmon.
Oh, sorry, roast. Yeah, smoked. Right, now to finish, you can either have traditional Christmas pudding with brandy sauce and red currants.
Nope.
After 8 cheesecake, chocolate and mint cheesecake, chocolate soil, mint chocolate chip ice cream.
Oh la la.
White chocolate and cranberry bread and butter pudding with custard. Or the Shrewsbury Arm cheese board with a selection of cheeses, celery, grapes, onion and jam. I know what you're going to have. After 8, yeah.
But that's actually giving me another moment.
Where the hell are we going? Quail's eggs?
Who eats bread and butter pudding in 2024?
Yeah. It's disgusting.
It's literally like
bread. It's
soggy bread. Why do you want soggy bread?
Why would you want bread with custard?
You might as well dip your sandwiches in your drink. Like, it's just disgusting.
It's rank. And also, who's having a cheese board?
Not me. I was actually slightly tempted by that.
No, you can't have a cheese board.
I love a cheese board.
No,
I know got a cheese board in the cupboard.
It's a controversial opinion, but I can't be doing with a cheese board.
Yeah, well, you're not big cheese. You don't eat cheese.
I don't really like cheese. Sorry.
Well, you shouldn't eat cheese either.
No, because it does give me upset stomach. Right then, we're going to move on to how long are we going for here? Oh, we've been going for 36 minutes, Kyle. We better move on to the emails. Right, now, we do love to get your emails in, as we've said before. So please email in to akapodcast@outlook.com. Either your argument of the week, your moan of the week. We do love the arguments and the moans, not going to lie. Your proudest bike moments or your biggest bike fails. We'd love to hear them. And if you have any questions for us, you can also email them in. We'll answer them.
Without being horrible, I do love a fail.
Yeah, we do like the fails because they make us laugh. But we also do like the proud moments too, so do send them in. Or it doesn't have to be cycling, it can be running. You never know, we might get Kyle running. So, I've had an email in from Rachel. Now, she said, we've got a proud moment, but then we've got a fail, which is what we're all here for. So her proudest moment is she's had some big challenges in her personal life, but she's managed to get on a bike for the first time in weeks, outdoors, getting out on the country lanes in a happy place, which was much needed. So well done. I know it can be really hard sometimes to get yourself out the door. That's sometimes the hardest bit.
That's the worst step.
Yeah, but you never regret a bike ride. So well done, Rachel, for getting out. Now, this is what we really want. The biking fail was struggling to get back on my saddle after a pit stop, which I'm sure was perhaps amusing to the farmer close by. My leggings kept getting wedged on the front seat cover every time I tried to sit back on. Not sure how I made it so difficult, but I got back on in the end. I have done that before.
I can
When
picture
your
that.
bib shorts aren't pulled
Yeah.
up properly and you're getting on your saddle and it keeps getting stuck on the front of your saddle.
I've had it before where you sort of like slide back on the saddle and it catches.
Yeah.
And then it just like traps you.
Yeah, I bet it's worse for a man, blooming heck.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for that, Rachel. Now we've got a moan of the week. I'm not going to read out the full one, and they've asked to remain anonymous, so I won't say the name. But basically, it is a wife in distress, Kyle, and I know how she feels. She was saying that her husband complains of clutter and constantly makes references to popping a few things up for the sale to declutter. But the clutter is all blooming his, apparently. And basically, he's got an inability to put things away.
Dad?
He's got an inability to put things away after use. For example, he'll make a plate of food, open the cupboard door to get the sauce out. Usually the relish, Henderson's relish. Never heard of that.
Nice, like that.
Put sauce on his plate, and then he'll put the sauce down and walk away. Leave the cupboard door open above him as well, and leave the sauce out. Or dirty dishes, he'll leave them. And she says she feels like his housemaid rather than his wife, and she's exhausted about it. And she wonders, she's been passively aggressively walking around with his things and putting them in an Audi bag in the kitchen every few days and putting all his rubbish in one place. And when he asks where it is, she says, "Oh, didn't you put it away after you used it?" She says, "Have you got any advice?" Well, my advice would be to go on strike. Basically, stop doing everything and see what happens. That's
Just
what I do.
tell him he's wearing you down. To be honest, that would wear me down.
Yeah.
Because not even shutting cupboard doors behind you.
The cheese wears me
That's
down.
That's a little bit mad, isn't it?
Yeah. I'd go on strike. Like sometimes there was a moment when I was doing all the washing, wasn't I? All the clothes washing. And I said to Kyle, "Do you ever put clothes in the washing machine?" And he was like, "Yeah." So I was like, "Right, well, let's test this theory." And I didn't do any washing for 2 weeks and no clothes got washed.
And then I was asking where my jeans
and he
were.
was asking, like, "Where's my jeans?" and stuff. I was like, "Oh, Kyle, go and look in the bedroom. Go and look at the washing basket that's overflowed and there's clothes all around it." Because I went on strike and didn't do it. And then it made him realise. And since then, we both equally do the washing. It worked.
The last time Amy went away, she came home and the washing basket was completely
I was
empty.
like, "Blooming hell,
I
what's
did about
happened?"
5 loads of washing.
I know, he came home, honestly, you've never seen
And
someone.
I ironed it all.
He looked so proud. I walked in the door and he was like, had a little smirk on, like a little smug look. I was like, "Are you okay?" He was like, "Yeah." He was like, "Go and look in the washing basket." I was like, "Okay." And I looked in the washing basket, completely empty. And then he like just pointed to the bed with a little grin on his face. And there was like a pile of ironing that he'd done.
A big pile.
And he was so happy. I was actually like, "Oh my God, Kyle, I was really impressed with you." I was like, "I've trained you well."
It's not about training. That's it, I'm not doing it again.
But I was really happy and I was
Anyway.
very grateful. I am very lucky with you, Kyle, I will admit.
Going back to that, I'm quite tidy in fairness.
You are,
No, in certain...
you say you're tidy, but your wardrobe is a state. I will say that. We've got one of those wardrobes that open side, like when one side's open, you can't open the other. Mine is constantly getting jammed because stuff in Kyle's wardrobe is stopping mine from opening.
Actually, what's that on the end of the bed?
My clothes.
Yeah, where do you think they were?
In your pile by accident.
No, they were jammed in the door.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get in the wardrobe when I got back.
That's my gym clothes.
Yeah, they were wedged between the doors.
Oh, that's my problem then. Sorry about that.
Straight back at you, sis.
But you have been wearing my Garmin socks as well.
That's only because you keep putting them in my pile.
That's another argument we had because I put my Garmin socks on Kyle's pile by accident and he's been wearing them, but he knew they were mine and he still wore them and he said, "Oh, you put them on my pile." And I said, "Well, maybe you should make your own pile then. And you know they're mine, so now you can have them because your big toes blooming stretch them now."
That is the rule. If you put them in my pile, I'm wearing them, so don't put you...
Well, should I put my dresses in your pile? Will you wear that?
Your jumpsuit.
I'll put my gym clothes. I'll put my sports bra in your pile. Will you wear that?
No. But
you won't be able to fit it on.
Sorry. But yeah, I think the advice I'd give is just tell him straight up and say, "Look."
My advice would be go on a strike. She has told him already, she said.
Oh, If
Yeah.
you've already told him, yeah, I'd put my foot down.
Go on a strike. Don't do any pots. Don't do anything. See how he fares.
Yeah, but then it's not fair on her because then she'll be just living in chaos.
Well, she could just do her own pots and leave his.
Yeah,
and put them on his pillow where he sleeps, so that when he goes to bed, he can't go to sleep.
Yeah, that's a good shout, actually. Everything that he doesn't clean up,
put it on his pillow.
Put it on his bed.
Yeah.
So when he wants to go to bed at night, he's got to sort it all out first.
Yeah, I'd do that. Right, and then we've had one question from Martin saying, what is the best, the Pinarello X7 or F7? Now, he said, I think you should do a vote on Instagram and see which one comes out on the top. Having an F7 myself, I know which one I'd choose. Well, Martin, I think you would be choosing an F7. Well, I can't say because I've not ridden an F7. I've got an X7, a sexy Xy. So I'm obviously going to say the X7 because I've ridden on it all year. It's super comfy and it's endurance, which is what I love because we all know I love an endurance ride. What I will say is, for total honesty, we are sponsored by Pinarello, in case you don't know, so take of that what you will, but I love the X7. It's comfy. Actually, do you know what? I've just written a review of the F7. If you want to read my review, Velo Bavarian, our local bike shop, shout out to them. I did a review on my X7, so it's on their website. So
and I'm also going to do one of mine.
Kyle's also been told he's got to do a review of his F7. He's not written it yet.
But what was I going to say? I've ridden both, so I'm actually slightly more impartial than you.
Which one do you like the best?
Well, my F7.
Thought you would.
But they're just different. Also, I'd just like to say, like, they're just two different bikes.
Yeah.
It depends what you're doing, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
But I don't think you can compare completely.
No. So read the review. Talking about a Bavarian and what's coming up, the next few things I've got coming up is on Friday, which is when this podcast comes out, hopefully if I edit it on time, I'm going to Velo Bavarian to learn how to fit tubeless tyres. Jimmy, shout out to Jimmy, is going to teach me all about tubeless tyres. So I'll be videoing that because I am going to have tubeless tyres on my gravel bike for the winter. So I'm very excited / nervous about that because I've not ridden tubeless. Well, actually, no, I have. I have ridden tubeless for Dirty Reaver, but I didn't know how to fix a puncture if I got one, so it wasn't a very good idea. So Jimmy's going to tell me. And the next big challenge I've got is the National Hill Climb, which I'm absolutely petrified about. I've never done a hill climb competition before. To be honest, I'm just going for the fun of it. Not sure how fun it'll be going up there, but it will be fun to cheer everybody else. I'm hoping I can get a cowbell. So the next podcast, I'll do a debrief on that. Kyle isn't coming, unfortunately. He's staying here to look after Chester, aren't you?
I am. I'm going to do a ride.
I did try to tempt him to come and enter, and like we could bring Chester somehow, but you didn't want to do it, did you?
No.
Didn't want me to beat you again.
Well, it's not that. I probably actually would beat you at that one, to be fair.
Yeah, because it's a 1.6 kilometre. It's like 1.6 kilometre climb. Average gradient, I think 9%, so quite steep, with a maximum gradient of 13. So we'll see how I fare. I'll try my best. That's all I can do.
Just don't drink before it.
Hopefully, drink. What do you mean?
Like I did in Ibiza.
I don't drink, so it's okay.
No, I know what I'm
so
saying.
I'll be fine. Yeah, we'll be all right. We'll get the bike right, stripped down, take the handlebar tape off, take the bottle cages off. No, I'm joking. I'm going up there with the camera on my bike.
I've already drilled some holes in your handlebars.
Oh, stop it. Do you know what I'm most worried about? Being held at the start. I've never been held.
I've held you many times.
Yeah, and I know we bat you away. But apparently on the Saturday you can go and do a recce, and they're going to have people there that are going to be holders. I think that's what they're called, and you can practice. So we're going with my friend, so we're both going to go and practice that. So I'll debrief on that next week. But we've been chatting for 45 minutes. It's 10 to 7 in the PM, and I'm ready for dinner. And tonight, Kyle, we're having mackerel.
Oh, wow. It's that time of the week again, is it?
You like mackerel, don't you?
I do actually quite like it, but it's just the bones put me off slightly.
It's really good for you.
I know,
It's got omega-3.
If mackerel didn't have bones, it'd be fantastic. It's my favourite fish.
It's good for your brain, Kyle, and you need some more brain cells, so...
I'm already cleverer than you.
Cleverer than me?
Yeah.
Why?
I understand.
I think we're equal. I don't think it's a competition. I think we're equal.
It's always a competition.
You're more clever with your hands for building.
Clever with my hands.
And
That's
clever.
proven my point entirely.
And, to be fair, I think we're both equal.
Yeah.
I think when you're in a relationship, you're normally quite equal in intelligence because otherwise you wouldn't really get on very well. I don't know. Anyway,
no problem.
I'm waffling now. We're going to say goodbye.
Let's go.
Should we see if Chester's going to say goodbye today? He's currently
he's asleep.
Chester's currently asleep, but we could wake him up. Chester! Din-dins.
No, he's too tired.
No, he's not even moving for din-dins. His ear twitched, and that was it.
He's not even lifting his head up.
Chester, do you want a treaty?
Not even lifting
He's not
his
even
head.
reacting to a treat now.
Is he all
Now
right?
you know he's. Oh no, he's moved. He's getting up. He's looking at us.
Rich tea.
He loves rich tea. Chester's obsessed with rich tea biscuits. Honestly, I bought some rich tea biscuits for Kyle from a food shop. Open the pack, he comes running down the stairs. You love him, don't you?
As soon as he knows the sound the biscuit tin makes.
Yeah.
And he knows when I've got him. And he's absolutely obsessed. He's quite good actually at not being naughty.
He doesn't beg normally.
He doesn't beg, but that's the one thing he does a little growl for.
He likes butter as well. He's weird.
Yeah,
when we get the
he's-
butter out, he comes down to the
He's getting
kitchen.
he's
He
getting
can't
worked
eat
up now.
butter. Right, let's see if he'll say. Right, I'm going to say thank you so much for listening. We're going to do our next episode, maybe next week, maybe the week after. I think we'll do one every 2 weeks. Carl, do you want to say anything?
No, that's it. I'm done.
And I'd say have a great week. Keep smiling.
Ditto.
And my tip for this week is I'm going to start doing a little mental health tip each week. When you're out and about, instead of looking down at your phone, look up and say hi to people and smile, because connection with other people is really important. And we spend too much time looking down, so look up, enjoy yourself. Right, Chess, are you going to say bye to everyone? Bark! 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 No, I'm not sitting there any longer trying to get him to bark. He's now got his head on Carl's knee. Carl, you'll have to do a fake bark.
He loves me, doesn't he?
Go on. Right, see ya! Goodbye!
Goodbye.